On the bima and bring their talitot with you. Yeah, come up this way. So if I can invite you both to place the talit on our B'nai Mitzvah, wrapping them in the teachings, the wisdom, the values of our people Israel. Cheryl, you have one ceremony that you haven't done yet, and that is the ceremony of placing the hair behind the talit. That's it. Now it'll stay on. Okay. Guys, if you'll recite the bracha, the blessing for wearing the talit.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hit atef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Amen. Let's find ourselves on page 242. Is our B'nai Mitzvah. Offer the proclamation of faith. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anohi mitziaha hayom alavavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha v'adera u'shobecha u'vkumecha u'shartam leo al yadecha v'hayu l'tatafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
Mishkoach, beautiful. Going to be continuing with the cantor on page 246.
Ayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamata alehem v'yasu lahem tzitzit al kamtei v'itehem l'dorotam v'natanu al tzitzit hakana petatachalet v'haya lachem v'tzitzit Ritem otos, chaytem ekol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo tatoru, acharei levavchem, v'acharei einechem, asher tazonim achareihem, leman tizkuru, v'asitem ekol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem mi'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiya lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
So today, Jake and Bianca begin a new journey in their lives as they take on the responsibilities of Jewish life as bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. So we're going to be turning to page 252 as we reflect on a different journey of Moses and Israel as they began their journey out of Egyptian bondage on their way to the promised land. We'll begin on the top of the page, and when we get to the fourth line, we'll find the words that were sung by Moses and Israel at the crossing of the Sea of Reeds, Mi Chamocha.
Teila le'elyon baruch hu vorach Moshe u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabam yamnu chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai
מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוספלת, נורא תהילות אוספלת. שיר החדש שבחו גאולים, לשמך שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צבא ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופתח נאומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני ישראל. Amen. Let's turn to the morning Amidah for this Shabbat Bereshit. We'll find ourselves in the Siddur on page 255.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ביאהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע.
משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם,
מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתה מלך ממי ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך וברוך שמו.
לחיי המתים.
Amen. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole world is filled with God's glory. We continue Kedusha 256, 257.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום. ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, ולא כל הארץ כבודו. אז בקול רעש גדול, אדיר וחזק, אדיר וחזק, משמיעים קול לנושאים, ליום התנפים, ליום התם, ליום התם, ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. במקומך מכנו, מכנו תופיע, וזמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון, בקרוב בימינו לעולם ועד תשכון, בקרוב בימינו לעולם ועד תשכון. תתגדל ותתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך, לדור ודור ולנצח נצחים. בעינינו תראנה מלכותך, כדבר האמור בשירי עוזך, על ידי דוד משיח צדקך. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד קולך, לדור ודור נגיד קולך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. לשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולמד, כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש, גדול וקדוש אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני הקדוש.
We'll turn together to the top of page 261. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our Shabbat rest be acceptable to you. May your mitzvot lead us to holiness, and may we be among those who devote themselves to your Torah. May we find contentment in your blessings and joy in your sustaining power. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth and help us to enjoy and love and favor the heritage of your holy Shabbat. May your people Israel, who sanctify your name, rest on this day. Praised are you, O Lord, who sanctifies this Shabbat. We're going to be seated as we turn to our prayer for peace. Page 266, Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Jake? Bianca?
Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Oseh shalom v'roma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael v'yiru amen.
The source of peace and harmony in the universe, grant peace to us, to the household of Israel, to all humanity. Amen. I'd like to invite Sherry Fleming, who is one of the godmothers, I understand, amongst us. We have multiple godmothers. Sherry, from right there, if you can offer the reading, feeling thankful for my children. You know what, Sherry, why don't you come up front, because our those who are streaming won't hear you if you're totally from the back. Just come up the ramp over here. Yeah? No, come over to the microphone. Keep going.
morning. I woke up this morning and pondered way too loud. Will today be clear and sunny or like a nimbus cloud? All of a sudden I realized this wasn't important at all. In the big picture altogether, this one thought seemed so small. I thought then of my children and a smile came to my face. The sentiments of my memories took me to a higher place. Their funny little antics, endless questions, mommy why, had me laugh quite hysterically. I began to cry. I thank God for the fortune and decided then and there, whether or not it rained or shined, it really didn't care.
Great. Thanks, Sherry. We're going to turn now to the service for taking out the Torah from the Aron Kodesh, from the Holy Ark. So we'll be turning a few pages to 312. Bianca and Jake will be leading us now in the Torah service. 312.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל העמים וממשלתך דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אבך רחמים, היטיבה ברצונך את ציון. תפנה חומות ירושלים, תפנה חומות ירושלים. כי ואחד לבד בתנו, מלך עולם ונישא, אדון עולם.
Let's all rise. Cheryl, if you'll join us on the Bimah. Open the Aron Kodesh, if you would. Jake, Bianca, if you'll come and stand with Mom right in front of the Aron Kodesh. As close as you can to the ark. Take a step in. Okay.
ויהי בצוח העולם, ויאמר משה, קומה אדוני, ויחוצו אויביך, וינוסו משנאיך מפניך, כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
Cheryl, you can take the center Torah out and hold it. We'll go to face the congregation. And we'll turn in our Siddur to page 320. 320.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh
Iti. Unromima Shemot
You may be seated.
So before we begin the actual reading of the Torah this morning, we're going to be paying especially close and careful attention, whether we're sitting in the sanctuary or at home watching on the live stream, to Jake and Bianca's Devar Torah, their explanation of the Torah reading this morning.
Our Torah portion is focused on the idea of freedom, which we in the United States have always known. We make choices each day of where we want to go and what we want to do. However, since March, this idea of freedom has been changed. COVID-19 changed this for all of us. It took away our power of choices, dinners, entertainment, time with family and friends. Freedom is written in the Torah and something we fought for on July 4th, 1776, as the Second Continental Congress met, voted, and wrote the Declaration of Independence for the United States of America. The Liberty Bell was gifted to us and now stands in Philadelphia, representing this idea. However, in March, this idea changed, as the whole world went on lockdown, which is called quarantine. This indicated people had to stock up on food, groceries, water, and etc. People were only allowed to go outside or indoors only when they were wearing masks. This had been going on for months now, and scientists are still trying to find a vaccination for COVID. Due to the virus being so contagious, our freedom has been lost with the lack of activities, the need for social distancing, school schedules, and cancellations of events. Family dinners are smaller. Grandparents can't hug their children if they are not with them regularly. Companies are being ran online. Teachers are teaching from home. Doctors are holding Zoom appointments. Friends are congregating through a screen. This is a reality we are all facing. Our freedom has been taken away. Our ability to make choices has been taken away. Why not? Because people have chosen this, but a virus has taken that control away. This idea of freedom that is stated in the Torah that has been written, our declaration has been altered. I guess it teaches us that maybe we don't have the freedom that we thought we did. Maybe that ability to make choices which we thought we had, we really don't. God has chosen to challenge us with this pandemic. God is the only one who truly has the freedom to make choices without fear of the freedom, without it being taken.
As we sit here today in a room with only 25 people, it's hard to wrap our minds around how drastically our lives would change, not only here but all over the world. We live in unprecedented times, which has kept many of our friends and family from being able to attend our service today. We wake up every morning attending school from home, in our rooms, seeing our friends and teachers through our computer screens. There is no going up to the board to answer questions or going to the gym to play kickball with our friends. We have to wear a face covering to prevent us from infecting others. Because of the coronavirus, not only has Hebrew school changed as we see our friends and teachers through Zoom, but our Israel trip for the rabbi has been postponed until further notice. Bianca and I were looking forward to going to the trip with the rabbi, the canner, Barbara, and our friends to ride camels, go to the Dead Sea, praying at the Wailing Wall, and more. We are excited to go to our homeland and to learn about Jewish customs and traditions. Mostly importantly, to make it a fun trip. Last month, we had celebrated Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah with many of our family and friends missing. We are not able to pray in synagogue, hear shofar blown, and listen to the rabbi's speech. It isn't the same. Nothing is the same. Our freedom has been taken. Our ability to choose has been taken. Our rights have been taken. The laws of the Torah and rights of the Constitution of Declarance have been taken. When looking at all of this and living through it, I can't imagine the stories we will tell our children one day. How to explain all that we are dealing with? How we couldn't be with family and friends, pray at the synagogue, go to dinners, or learn in school? How do we explain that the United States lost over 200,000 lives with over 1 million people getting the virus? How do we explain it is something I hope we never have to deal with again? How do we explain all of it? Rabbi Cantor, Barbara, friends and family, we can't thank you enough for sharing our day with us, for supporting us today, even through this unprecedented times. Even with our freedom being altered, we stand here together to celebrate us becoming adults in the eye of God.
Folks, those of you who are honored with an aliyah this morning, what I'm going to ask you to do is to come up onto the ramp, but whoever's first in line to stop really right about over here. See where the letter Shin is? So we still want to keep a distance, a safe distance between each other. So whoever's reading Torah over here will be safely separated, and you'll be safely separated from whoever's reading Torah. Normally we have a number of people standing around the Torah table. When the Torah is being read, we have two people standing over there, the Gabayim. Somebody is usually standing right over here, but we're going to be foregoing that today, given that we want to keep as few people here as possible, not as many, but as few. So today is Shabbat Bereshit, Sabbath of the very beginning, celebrated Simchat Torah last Saturday night and Sunday, and today we begin the reading of the Torah all over again. So if you might take out your larger text at your seats, it is known as a Chumash, based on the number 5, Chamesh, the Chumash, which contains the 5 books of Moses. We're going to be beginning on page 3. So for the first aliyah, I'll be calling Imam, Cheryl, and Bubby and Herb for the first aliyah. Ya'amdu Sarachaya Dina Chaim Rishon.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher barabanu mikol ha'ami, v'natalanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, notan ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz, ve'haaretz hayta tohu bohu, ve'choshech al pnei tehom, ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or, vayar Elohim et haor ki tov, vayavdel Elohim ben haor uven hahoshech. Vayikra Elohim la'or yom v'lachoshech kara layla vayir vayhivo keyom echad.
Okay, folks, the
blessing?
closing blessing.
Oh, one more.
Wait, don't leave yet. Don't leave. Bubby.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natalanu Torah emet, v'hei
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeshkoach, folks. We're going to be continuing with the second day of creation, which we can find on page 6. And for this aliyah, I'd like to invite godparents, dear members of our synagogue, Abby and Michael Risen. Sloan, why don't you come up with Mom and Dad? And I'd like to invite cousins, Abby's parents also, Merrill and Larry Yurovsky, folks. Come on up. Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Va'ed.
Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notim HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Elohim yehi krakia betoch hamayim. Vayhi mabdil bein mayim lamayim. Vayas Elohim et harakia. Vayavdel ben hamayim asher mitachat larakia. Uven hamayim asher me'al larakia. Vayhichen vayikra Elohim Arakia Hashemayim Vayir vayhivok Yom Sheni. Amen. Mazel tov.
Going to take a moment to offer a prayer known as a Misha Berach for all those who are dear to us, who are ill, for whose healing and well-being we pray. All those throughout our country and throughout the world afflicted by this catastrophic virus, we pray for their healing and well-being. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah U'yivarech v'yirapeh את כל החולים הקרובים לנו אנחנו מתפללים שהקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם להחלימם ולרפאותם וישלח להם במהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים רפואת הנפש רפואת הגוף לכל איבריהם וגידיהם בתוך שאר חולי ישראל. שבתי מלזעוק רפואה קרובה לבוא, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. So we are up now to the third day of creation. Interestingly, about the third day of creation, each day of creation, as God creates, God says, Vayihi Tov, and it is good. But the third day of creation, as you'll listen, if you listen carefully, is the only day where God says Vayihi Tov twice. So, you know what day of the week the third day of creation is? You know what day of the week the third day is? Yeah, Tuesday. You know, Dina, you know your stuff. I could tell by your.
My age, you know.
No, it's not age. You knew it when you were a kid, I think.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, and so the tradition is whenever you have something important to do, move into a new house, whatever, it's always good to do it on a Tuesday. Always good on a Tuesday, because you'll be hearing Vayihi Tov twice. Okay, so for the third Aliyah, I'd like to invite cousins, Alan and Sue, Luke, Ryan, Taylor, coming up, guys, and I'd like to invite, Bianca and Jake. I'd like to invite your dad's dearest friends, Brian Rotter and David Pogash. Okay, here we go. Baruch Adonai Vorach Leolam Va'ed. Amen. Vayomer Elohim, v'kavu hamayim mitachat hashamayim el makom echad, v'teira'eh hayabasha, vayehi chen, vayikra Elohim layabasha eretz, ulemikvei hamayim kara yamim, vayar Elohim ki tov, vayomer Elohim, tachei haaretz deshe, esev mazriya zera, etz perei, ose prilmino, asher zar'ovo al haaretz, vayichein, vatotzei haaretz deshe, Esev mazriya zeral minehu ve'etz ose pri asher zar'ovo minehu vayar Elohim ki tov vayier vayivoker yom shelishi. Folks. Okay. Now the moment we've been waiting for, when first Bianca and then Jake will be called to the Torah. Shane, can I invite you to join us on the bima? And stand right where the cat is standing right now. And you'll be calling your brother up to the Torah. You can look over at Jake, he's the man, and call him up to the Torah for his aliyah as a bar mitzvah. Okay, Shane.
Yamud, 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 Habachar, Habar Mitzvah, Mordechai Feivel, Sorachaya, Maftir Azah,
Okay, great.
One second, Jake.
Touch the Torah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Baruch Atah Adonai Kol cherem asher Yahoram imhadam lo hipadeh mo yuman v'chol ma'asar cha'aret mizera cha'aret mipri cha'etz l'Adonai hu Kodesh l'Adonai v'im ga'ol ik'al ish mima'asro Amishito Yosef alav. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shkoach to Jake. And Bianca, if you can have a seat on the bench, because we need over there. We need to have Cole with his great kippah to come up and call you, Bianca, to the Torah. Whatever. For your aliyah as a bat mitzvah.
Talmud, Talmud, Talmud Habahura Haba Mitzvah, Barucha Shifra Bat Sorachaya, Maftira Hizki.
Okay. Cole, just flip the microphone back towards Bianca.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. V'chol masar bakar batzon kol asher ya'avor tachat hashavet ha'asiri yihya kodesh l'Adonai lo yevaker ben tov lara Velo yamiranu, ve'im hamer yamiranu, v'chayahu utmarato, v'hiya kodesh lo yigael. Eila hamitzvot asher tiva Adonai at Moshe El B'nai Yisrael V'chor Sinai. Bara'ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Bara'ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. So guys, Yasher Koach on your first Aliyah to the Torah, now taking on the status of Bat Mitzvah and Bar Mitzvah. And the cantor has a very special blessing that she'd like to offer to the two of you.
May you live to see your world fulfilled, and may you be our link to future worlds, and may your hope encompass all the generations to be. May your heart conceive with understanding, may your mouth speak wisdom, and your tongue be stirred with sounds of joy. May your gaze be straight and sure, your eyes be lit with Torah's lamp, your face aglow with heaven's radiance, your lips alive with words of wisdom, and your inner self alive with righteousness. And may you always rush in eagerness to hear the words of one, more ancient than all time. And let us say, Amen. Mazal Tov, Bianca and Jake.
Yeah. So now that both Jake and Bianca have read from the Torah, first part of the Hebrew Bible, we move on to the second part of the Hebrew Bible, which are the prophets, the Nevi'im, and our B'nai Mitzvah are going to be reading from the Navi, the prophet Jeremiah. If you'd like to follow in the Chumash, you can find yourself on beginning page 763. First, we'll begin with the blessing before the Haftarah, then the prophetic portion itself, and then the blessings after the Haftarah.
Bara Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim ratza v'direhem hana'amarim be'emet bara Ata Adonai Chaboher Batzara, Uvmoshe Avdo, Uv'Yisrael Amo, Uv'Invi'ei Ha'amet V'Tzedek. Adonai Uzi, Uzi, Nusi, Beyon Sarah. Elecha goyim yavau me'afsei aretz v'yamaru ach sheker nachalu avotenu chavel v'im b'mamoil haya eselo adam Elohim V'chemach lo Elohim לכן הנני מודיעם בפעם הזאת, אודיעם את ידי ואת גבורתי, וידעו כי שמי אדוני. חטאת יהודה כתובה בעת ברזל בציפורן שמיר, חרושה על לוח ליבם ולקרנות מזבחותיכם. כי זכור בניכם מזבחותם ואשריכם על עץ רענן, על גבעות הגבעות. הררי במדבר, הלך כל אוצרתך, לבז אתם במותיך, בחטאת בכל גבולך. ושמעת ובכה מן החולתה אשר יבטא באדם, אשר יבטא באדם, מן החולתה אשר נבטא לה, וכל עובדתיך אוהבך, ברור אשר לא ידעת כי יש קדחתם באפי עד עולם מתוקד. כה אמר אדוני, ארור הגבר אשר יבטא באדם. כה אמר אדוני, ארור הגבר אשר יבטא באדם, ושם בשור שרעו, ומאדוני יסור ליבו. וחיה כערער בערבה, ולא יראה כי אבותיו. ושכן הררים במדבר, ארץ מלאכה ולא תשב. ברוך הגבר אשר יבטא באדוני, וחיה אדוני מבטחו.
וחיה כעת שתו על מים, ועל יובל ישלח שרשיו, ולא יראה כי יבוא חום. וחיה עליהו רענן, ובשנת בצורת לא ידאג, ולא ימיש מעשות פרי. הכל הלב מכל, ואנושו מידענו. אני אדוני חוקר לב, בוחן כלות, ולתת לאיש כרחב כפרי מעלליו. קורא דגר ולא ילד, עושה עושר ולא במשפט. בחצי ימיו יעזבנו, ולאחריתו יהיה נבל. כיסא חבו מרון, מראשון מקום מקדשנו. מקווה ישראל אדוני, כל עוזבך יבושו, ושורי בארץ יכתבו. כי עזבו מקור מים חיים את אדוני, רפאני אדוני, ורפא הושיעני ויבשע, כי תהילתי אתה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam tzor kol ha'olamim Sadiq bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emonim devarecha v'davar echad midvarecha ahur lo yashuv rekam ki el melech ne'eman rechaman ata bara ata Adonai ha'el ha'ne'eman b'chol devarav. Rekam al tior ki hi beit ha'enu v'la'alu v'nefesh toshia bim hera ve'amenu bara'ata Adonai mesameh tion bevanecha. Samheinu Adonai Eloheinu v'Eliyahu hanavi avdecha Uv'malchut Beit David Meshichecha b'mheira yavel ve'yagel libenu al kizel lo yeshev zar v'lo yinhalu od acherim at kevodo ki v'shem kotecha nishbatalo shelo yichbenera le'olam va'ed Bara'ata Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Magen David.
Amen.
Al HaTorah, ve'al Havodah, ve'al HaNevi'im, ve'el Yom HaShabbat hazeh, shenata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha limnucha, lechavod ultiforet. Al HaKol, Adonai Eloheinu, ach nachnu modim lach, Umvarchim ata yitbara shiham fikol tam b'fikol time Baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. It's cooked, guys. So, Bianca, why don't you just take a moment to catch your breath, after doing a great Haftorah? Because in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to share your own words that you prepared for this day. But you know what? Take a moment, just kind of relax for a moment. And you guys are both doing great. Really so proud of both of you. So proud of both of you. Great, great, great. Okay, what do you say, Bianca? We all set? Okay.
As I stand here today, I can't help but feel emotional about how much time, effort, work, and support I've been given from everyone in the room. I want to start by thanking the Rabbi, Cantor Annalise, Barbara, my teachers and tutors for helping me prepare, learn, and understand the importance of this morning. While we are all dealing with this pandemic, I feel thankful that we are all able to stand here today in the sanctuary reading from the Torah. The laws and customs the Torah teaches us will stay with me and be carried on to my family and children one day. Many of my Jewish beliefs and customs have been taught to me by my grandparents. My grandmother and grandfather were conservative. They celebrated Shabbat and lit the candles every Friday night, kept kosher in their household, and went to the synagogue regularly. My Bubby and her family were always together and believed in large family gatherings, especially on the holidays. That idea of large family dinners still exists as my mom and Aunt Sue host dinners every holiday. My Bubby lives with us now, and I get to spend a lot of time learning how to cook good Jewish foods. We look at photo albums of families from the past and talk about the importance of Judaism. My mom and dad both believed and felt strongly about marrying Jewish and raising your kids Jewish. The loss of my father has been extremely hard. I know more than anything he's looking down at us with pride and wishing he was here to celebrate this day with us. My mom always talked about how excited he was for this day. My heart is broken that he is not here standing with us. My father was bar mitzvahed both here and in Israel and believes strongly in Jewish religion. I feel fortunate that my mom met Herb, who has stepped in to teach us, guide us, and support us. Jewish himself, he was bar mitzvahed and understands the importance of this day. We cannot thank him enough for how much he has helped us with. Being the only sister, my brothers Cole, Shane, and Jake are my protectors. They help keep me focused on what is important, and they deal with my drama, TikToks, and my obsession with my dog. I love you guys so much. I would like to thank my mom for all that she has done for me. Being a single mom, she has taught me to believe in myself, understand the responsibility of schoolwork, and to teach me how to be responsible. My Aunt Shauna was like another grandmother to us. She lived with my Bubby and helped me with my homework. She used to read with me, and I learned to play card games with her. She taught me importance in family and was always a fan at one of my sport games. I want to thank my godparents, Aunt Abby and Uncle Mike and Aunt Sherry. They watched us grow up into the young adults that we are today. Thank you for sharing this wonderful day with us. Rabbi, thank you for everything you have done. Thank you for allowing us to be here today and all that you have taught me over the past years. I plan to continue my Jewish studies in Hebrew High, raise my family Jewish, and always be proud to be a Jew. Also, a big thank you to the people who decided to show up today for the occasion and make this day more amazing than it already is.
Beautiful, Bianca. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be hearing from Jake in a few minutes yet, but we're going to first turn to the service for returning the Torah to the Aron Kodesh. Herb, if you'll join us on the bima. And Cheryl. We'll all rise. We find ourselves on page 340. 340. Herb, take the Torah and hold it up. Take the Torah.
Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, Ki nishkav Shema levado.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren le'amo, Dela lechol chasidav, Livnei Yisrael am kerobo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Dear God, as we stand here today, I cannot thank you enough for my beautiful children, their health and their love for life. Their father and I prayed for a big family to raise and love with Jewish values and beliefs. Lou spoke many times of this day. So excited to see them become a mitzvah, to see his princess dressed up, and his son, tall and proud as they read Torah. I know with my full heart he's joined with us today in spirit. Lou, we have a lot to be proud of. Jake and Bianca are growing up to be proud Jews. They have plans to get confirmed to go to Israel and pray at the wall. Jake and Bianca, your lives have been surrounded by many people who love you. Your grandparents set good examples of Jewish values as they kept a kosher household, honored Shabbat dinners, lit the candles, and prayed for God for the health of their children. Bobby and her family always held large family gatherings to celebrate the Jewish holidays, reflect on family and the importance of it. They always spoke of past simchas and events which made them proud. You were both named after some of those family members. Bianca Sky, Baruch Shifra. You were named after two strong family members with strong Jewish values, Dad's Uncle Benson and Aunt Zelda. His love and respect for them was as large as life as he spent many holidays at their house. They instilled strong family traditions in him, in your father, which I hope and pray carry on to you and your family in years to come. I pray that you host large family gatherings with your brothers, their families, along with your cousins. I love you and your pride and your family and your friends. Jakey and Mordechai Weivel, you were named after my Uncle Morty and my grandmother Ida. Both were extremely hard workers, business owners, and proud Jews. I grew up praying with them on the holidays as I learned the importance of holidays, Jewish law, and importance of the big picture. Family always comes first. Hard work and focus on the health and wellness of your family always first and foremost. You have that love for family in you as you truly embrace the time with your brothers and Bianca. You work hard in school and make me proud each day. God, I thank you for my family, for the people in our lives who have supported us through the hardest of times. Their Uncle Al and their Uncle Brian have been there with them in open arms to embrace them and love them. I thank you both from the bottom of my heart. I find great comfort in knowing that you are both there for them. I thank God for Herb, who has been given to us, a man with strong morals and values, strength and warmth. He has opened his arms to my children. He has opened his heart to us. He has stepped in to help, love, and support them, teach them values, and introduce them to new adventures. Although he is not their father, he loves them as though he is. I thank God every day for him and his family. Stephanie, thank you for being the big sister role as you help guide Bianca with your advice and your love. Thank you for your support and your spirit. We love you immensely. Thank you, God, for all of our family and friends who are here today or watching from their homes. As we stand here during the pandemic, I'm thankful for my children can stand over the Torah, to stand with their rabbi and their cantor, to be surrounded by family and friends. I'm thankful for our lives, our health, and the love and values which have been instilled in us. Jake and Bianca, my heart swells with pride as I watch you today. You are proud, strong, kind, and moral. You've had the best of examples in your lives to show you the ways of Jewish life. May you both continue to follow the laws of God. May you both continue to stand proud as Jews. May you both marry Jewish, raise your children Jewish, and stand proud as I do today when your children stand over the Torah. Rabbi and Cantor, I cannot thank you enough for all you have done for my children. You took us in and embraced us during the most difficult time in our lives. You embraced my children, taught them and guided them, introduced them to mitzvahs and reasons to celebrate during times of mourning. You have showed them that God is good even when they doubted him. You showed them that through example how lives can be filled with faith and beliefs even when they lost both. Thank you for helping my children stand tall today as proud Jews surrounded by strength and love. God, thank you for my children. I promise to continue to raise them with love and values. I promise to always support them. May you continue to watch over them as they grow into Jewish adults. Please keep them safe and healthy. Amen.
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 It's Chaim Lama V'Zikiba V'Tov Ve'oshar Derachecha Darfei Noam V'Chol Netivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chodesh Chodesh Yameinu Chodesh Yameinu Kedem.
can all be seated.
Jake, get your coffee cup on. Put your arms around on the outside. Hey, the other side also.
Jake, if you'll now share your words with all of us, those of us here, those of us watching through the live stream.
As I stand here today feeling proud and honored, I want to thank Rabbi Perlstein, Cantor Annalise, Barbara, Mary Michelle, my Hebrew school teachers, tutors, family, and friends for helping me prepare for our B'nai Mitzvah. As I say my prayers with Bianca and stand proud in front of God and all the people who loved me and helped me through the last couple of years. We have lost numerous family members over the past several years. Through the grief, we know how much we were loved. Loss of my father has been very difficult for me. I know he is looking down on us and watching Bianca and I grow to be independent young adults, as well as watching Shane and Cole become grown men in college. My dad was an amazing father who loved us. He coached our games, took us to different events, took us to our cousins, out with our friends, and supported us no matter what we did. I always remember how he took me to Big Heads and tomato pies after sports games, and I love how he always won tickets from game to game. My favorite memory was when he taught me how to throw and catch a football, baseball, and taught me how to shoot a basketball into the net. Every game he would say to me, if you strike out, keep your head high and stand strong. He raised me Jewish and I am a proud Jew. Lastly, for teaching me to respect girls, never be inappropriate or disrespectful toward them. Never hit a girl and always treat a lady with respect, even if she has a bad day. He is deeply missed and loved in our hearts forever, and not a second goes by we don't miss him. He wanted us so bad to be here today, but God has other plans. Dad, I know you are with us in spirit, and we miss you so much. Today I'm wearing his dad's ring to memorize him and his grandmother. My grandparents were wonderful role models, hosting dinners, going to synagogue, keeping kosher, and following the ways of Jewish law. They always wanted to spend time with us, go to our games, spend holidays together, and stay here as we become B'nai Mitzvah. They deeply loved their family and were always there for us, taking us to the library, park, restaurants, and more. When Pop was in the hospital, I was very sad to see him suffer through the pain. My grandma was always there giving gifts to our family from her heart. I want to thank Shauna for teaching me how to do math, read, be respectful, and never to point at people. She was a kind, respectful, generous, talented, and most lovable. Next, I want to talk about my brothers. The first thing I want to talk about is how they taught me to be more extended and respectful to other women. Cole taught me how to be respectful to girls, and coming from him having a girlfriend. He taught me to never judge a girl by their race, religion, what they look like, or how they act, and never like them for their looks, how much money they have, if they have a big house, and never to act cool. The important thing is what's inside and not is what on the outside. He also taught me jujitsu, how to spar properly, and how to fight. He always takes me places like Wawa, the dollar store, my sports events, and the Hebrew school. Next, I want to talk about my older brother, Shane. He always taught me how to be brave and strong no matter what happens and how to throw a punch with boxing gloves. But he also taught me fighting is never the answer and not to solve it by fighting by always talking out or running to get the anger out of your system. He always takes me to games and watches them all. After he gives me tips on how to hit a baseball and how to use correct stance for basketball, also to play good defense and what to do to get better at it. He loves me so much and would do anything for me. Next, I would like to talk about Herb. Herb is funny, loving, talented, and more. Herb taught me how to fish, clam, surf, and love the water. He taught me to think big and never give up. Herb is very respectful to my mom and loves her so much. He is very sweet, kind, nice, lovable, and so much more, and he is so good to us. I am so thankful that he came into our lives. Next is my godparents, which are Uncle Mike and Aunt Abby. They are so sweet to us, and they mostly come to family dinners. They came to the hospital when I was born to celebrate the birth of Bianca, and I want to thank them for being there for us whenever we needed it. Next comes Aunt Sherry and her kids. I want to thank her for the holidays and all for the places she took Bianca, Morgan, Payton, and I to, such as shops, water parks, and more. She is a great godmother, and I want to thank her for being my mom's best friend. Next comes Uncle Brian. There are many words to describe him, but the main word is loving. He invites us to sleep over at his house, watch games, he checks up on us, and for being the best friend of our dad. We love him so much and appreciate all that he does. Next comes Aunt Sue and Uncle Al. We spend many holidays with you, Luke, Ryan, and Taylor. You have made family dinners, invited us to hang out, watch sports events, let us swim in your pool, and for being there for us and more. I feel thankful to have you there in our lives to help support us and love us. Last but not least is our mom. Mom, you have been amazing, staying strong, continuing to raise us with pride. You work hard making sure we have everything we need, yet reminding us of how much we are loved. Mom, you are the best mom we can ever have. You are smart, kind, amazing, pretty, magnificent, and more to add on that will never end. You were there by my side when I was in the hospital taking care of me. You buy us food, clothes, electronics, teach us math, put a roof over our heads, work as a teacher to pay the bills and more. You help us with homework and help us study for tests, quizzes to get good grades so we have a successful future. You instill good Jewish values in the home and make sure we appreciate what God has given us. You teach us to be strong and moral. You invite family members over to watch games and buy us food so we can eat. You buy sports events for us too. You would do anything for your family to help us be healthy and successful. You get us through hard times when it's Dad, Shauna, Grandma, and Grandpa's birthday. We love you so much and we would do anything for you. Next comes Rabbi Cantor and Barbara. I can't thank you enough for offering us to the opportunity to learn Torah and enjoy all that Ohev Shalom has to offer. I have enjoyed learning to cook, packing food for the needy, carnivals, field trips, and services. I have learned so much from all you and to plan to use what I have learned to become a Jew. I plan to continue studying Hebrew High and go to Israel with you to earn more about heritage and customs. I plan to marry Jewish, raise my children Jewish, and give to the community. Thank you all for coming today and supporting us become B'nai Mitzvahs. I love you all so much.
Bianca and Jake, first of all, Cantor and I are so very proud of each of you and both of you. Go on, Jake, put it, you can put it together. Oh, wait a second. Great. Yeah, good. So as I was saying, Cantor and I are really proud of each of you and both of you. Do you guys remember when we sat in my study? How many months ago was it when we talked about your Devar Torah? Doesn't it seem like it was a whole different world then? Like we were meeting in the synagogue, and we were anticipating your B'nai Mitzvah happening in the spring. Then the spring came and we thought, well, by October 17th, everything's going to be just fine, right? Well, it will be just fine, but not quite yet. But when your original date was, we couldn't even get into the synagogue. So now we can get into the synagogue with a limit of 25. And I think you got 25 plus 2. So that's great. And everybody else, folks, family, friends that are with us on live stream, I hope you can feel all of the love and support and feelings that we are all feeling here in the sanctuary. So guys, I've had a special treat these past couple of months because the Cantor had a little boy in June, right? July. I'm so excited, I thought it was June. And so the Cantor's been out on maternity leave. So I've had a special treat of meeting you guys, not in my study, but on Zoom once a week and going over your stuff for today. You know what, guys? There's something in particular that, I've been so impressed by. And I just have to share it with you. I don't know if this will mean anything to the two of you, but I got to share it with you. So, I see a lot of siblings in the synagogue. You know what siblings are? Like brother, sister, whatever. And I see how they interact with each other, right? And so I know how brothers are with sisters, sisters are with brothers. Sometimes they're a year apart, 2 years apart, 3 years apart. And every week when we met, I was so touched watching the two of you, how you interact with each other, right? I'm not sure that you're even aware of this, but how you interact with each other. And it's something that I could see better on Zoom, I think, than if we would have met in person, because when we're meeting in person, like right now, there's all kinds of other things that, my eye catches. But when we were on Zoom, it was two of you in this little box, and I could see, the two of you together. And I have to tell you that at moments when I would have expected any brother and sister to roll their eyes and go, "Oh, come on," I was just amazed. You talked about respecting a girl or a woman. I was amazed, Jake, at the respect you have for each other, the support that you give to each other, how you look to each other for support and give support to each other. I'm sure, Cheryl, this doesn't happen 100% of the time. And you see something a little bit different at home from time to time. But you know what? I've also learned that I see people's true colors. They come out, because who you are and how you act is who you are and how you act, even in front of the rabbi. No, you guys are something very special. You have a special bond with each other. It's clear that you have a special bond with so many others, friends and family, which is really a blessing. Really a blessing. But you guys have a special bond with each other. I don't know if it's because, you're twins. That may play a role in it. But you know what? While you're twins, it's clear to me you are not exactly alike. Not exactly alike. You sing over here, Bianca, and Jake, you sing over here. You're about 2 octaves lower than your sister. But you both sing great, but you're on different. I've seen that you have your strengths, Bianca, which have been very clear to me. And you have your strengths, Jake, which have been very clear to me. So while you're twins, each one of you, both of you are so unique that God, in creating the two of you together, has made you each absolutely unique. There is no one in the world exactly like you, Bianca, and there is no one in the world exactly like you, Jake. You have your own purpose in this world. You have your own purpose in this world, Jake, and it's for you to kind of really discover more and more what your purpose is. So let me just come full circle. Cantor and I'm going to include everybody else, are just so proud of you. It is absolutely clear to me that you both have such strong Jewish roots. Really, like a tree is only as strong as its roots. And you both have such strong Jewish roots, thanks to mom and dad and to your grandparents and other members of the family. And that Judaism is going to always be a really important part of your lives. So you know how I'm going to be feeling this year on December 23rd? It's going to be a real downer. December 23rd. I'm not looking forward to it, because that was the day we were supposed to leave for Israel, right? December 23rd. 10 days in Israel together would have been like the greatest thing in the world. But, the airline still has our money, so we're planning to go the following year. And I'm planning for you guys to be part of that trip. And spending those days in Israel together is going to be really fantastic, fantastic. So Cantor and I would like to offer a very special blessing to the two of you. If I can invite you to stand right here on the bima, but go back closer to where the wood is. And can I invite family to come and stand behind our B'nai Mitzvah? No, on the carpet. And guys, if you'll face the Cantor and me, that's why Mom and Herb and everybody else are going to be behind you. Friends, can I invite you to all rise? First, we're going to recite Shechianu, thanking God for this marvelous day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu bazman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, for bringing us here today in life, preserving us, and permitting us to celebrate this great day when Bianca and Jake and Bianca, become B'nai Mitzvah. So now the cantor and I would like to offer this special blessing to you. May the Lord bless you and guard you. May the Lord make his countenance to shine upon you and to be gracious always unto you. Jake and Bianca, may God continue to watch over each of you, that you grow in health and in strength, with a love for yourselves, a love for your family, a love for your people Israel, a love for all peoples and all humanity. May God bless you both with a blessing of shalom, a sense of fulfillment, and a life of peace. And we all say together, Amen. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Okay, we're ready to wrap things up in a bit. 400, Ein Kelohenu.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemokeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemokeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emokeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Mokeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Mokeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shektiru, Avoteinu, Lefanecha, Eketoret Hasamim.
Aleinu 402.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tekenu la'le'atzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishmorot ha'adama, shelo samachenu b'hem, v'goralenu k'kol ha'omam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtahavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamolim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'mosher yakaro b'shamayim imo
Yalaretz
v'yah
Nitachatenu. Okay, Bianca, can you close the ark, sweetie? We can then all be seated. We'll conclude the Aleinu on 404.
ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
Jake and Bianca, I want to take a moment to recall the loving memory of your dad Lewis, Lou Britton, Cheryl, your husband, and Dina, your beloved son. But I've been feeling throughout the service today that your dad is very much part of this service. You know, you and Mom have referred to him, talked about him so much today, which I know you do on many, many, many days. And I believe deeply that from Dad's place where the Spirit yet abides, where Dad's neshama, where Dad's soul is, that he is what we call in Yiddish shepping nachas, that he is feeling such great pride at this moment, though not with us physically, with us in a different sense, because, you know, lives end, but relationships don't end, and love doesn't end. And I know that you feel Dad's love so very much with you today. I also want to make mention of grandparents. Cheryl, your dear parents, Morris and Flora, that we recall with so much love. And your grandfather, Sheldon Britton, as well. So may each of their memories and others in the family that have gone to their eternal home, may they all continue to be cherished for a loving blessing. For those who are reciting Kaddish, those who might be in the year of mourning, observing a yurtzeit, friends who are at home, if you are in the year of mourning, observing a yurtzeit, then feel surely not only free, but I'd love for you to join together with me at home in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me'rabah. V'olma divra chirutei v'yamlich machutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba v'vorach li'olam ula'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. Yithadar v'yit'oleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata ta'amiran v'olma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
So Cheryl, on behalf of our entire family here at Ohev Shalom, it's really my very, very special joy to say Mazal Tov to you. I know, as it's clear to all of us how much this day means to you, how much it meant to Lou. And here, the day is here. It's a wonderful day. And Mazal Tov to you, Dina. Mazal Tov to you, to Cole, and to Shane. Congratulations, guys. Mazal Tov to you. Can I know the name of this lovely young lady who is sitting on the first row? Hayal? Hayal. Hi, welcome. So you're here with this guy over here. Okay, good. Let me just take a good look. You guys look great together. There you are. I love it.
You're a great
Yeah?
She's a lovely girl.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, beautiful. Great. And Herb, congratulations, Mazal Tov to you. It is clear to me, we're meeting for the first time, but it's clear to me you are a very special very special person, and it's clear to me also the kids have a great love for you. You know, Cheryl, there's tons of kids who pass by this bima, become bar and bat mitzvah over the years. You know, we've been doing this in Ohev Shalom now for 43 years? But I can promise you that I don't care if it's next year or in 5 years or whatever the number of years are. Someone ever says to me, you remember Bianca and Jake becoming B'nai Mitzvah at Ohev Shalom? That today, guys, is going to always stand out in my mind because today was a most special day. The fact that we're here in the numbers that we are and people are watching at home, you know, under imperfect circumstances, but each one of you, Jake, you, and Bianca, you are each so beautiful, really such beautiful young individuals that this day is going to stay with me and I know with the cantor for a long, long time to come. So with that, how about if we turn to the Adon Olam, with which we'll conclude the service. Then we'll make Kiddush. Page 414. You know what, Bianca, while we're doing the Adon Olam, how about if you bring the 2 Kiddush cups over? Well, you know what, maybe actually better to pour the wine over there.
You want to do it?
Cheryl, good idea. When in doubt, let mom do it. Okay, Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yetze Nivra, Le'nasa, B'Chafsa Kol, Azar Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'Yacharek Yichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nara Adon Olam, V'Hu Haya, V'Hu Hoveh, Vehu yavetiv para Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yetze Nivra, Le'nasa, B'Chafsa Kol, Azar Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad V'Yein Sheni, Lehamshilo Le'achbira Adon Olam, V'li Reishi, V'li Tachlit, Ve'lahoz ve'hamisra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yetze Nivra, Le'nasa, B'Chafsa Kol, Azar Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Eli, Ve'chai Goli, Ve'tzorchav li B'Yetzara Adon Olam, Ve'hu Nisi, Umanos li, V'nachasi b'yom ekra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yetze Nivra, Le'nasa, B'Chafsa Kol, Azar Malach Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yado Afkid Ruchi, V'yetz Ishan V'ya'ira Adon Olam, V'im Ruchi K'v'yati, Adonai li v'lo ira Adon Olam.
Okay, guys, if you'll take your Kiddush cups, we're going to be singing the Vishamru and then making Kiddush. Folks, I know that as soon as the service is over, you're going to want to storm the family and wish them Mazal Tov, which is great, but we don't want to have 27 people in a small space over here. So just let me kind of dismiss you when the service is over. And my recommendation, not that we want to get rid of you, we're thrilled to have you here, but for you to kind of schmooze with each other, I think it'll be safer to do it right outside on the portico rather than inside, okay? Taking every precaution we possibly can. Okay, guys, how about if we hear the Vishamru?
Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasod et ha-Shabbat ledotam b'ri olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasod et ha-Shabbat ledotam b'ri olam. Beini uvein b'nai Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nai Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Lasso et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamiri olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Lasso et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamiri olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamiri olam.
If you lift your Kiddush cup, here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. L'chaim.
Fine, guys.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach.
Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone, and Mazal Tov.
All be seated for a moment. Can I invite these last two rows to leave the sanctuary first and make your way outside? Yeah.